What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you guys, we are going to talk about the 5 life-changing habits that I do as a girl with chronic illness. Now, if you do not have chronic pain or chronic illness, that's okay. These tips are going to be very applicable for you as well. We are also going to talk in depth about all the supplements that I take, which is also one of the life-changing habits that I do each and every day. So if this is content that you guys like to see, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's jump into this video. Alright you guys, so like I said, I do have psoriatic arthritis, which means that I live with chronic pain and chronic illness in the day-to-day. These are life-changing habits that literally just changed my life, changed the game. If you do not have chronic pain and chronic illness, don't worry. These tips are gonna be amazing for you as well. So let's jump in to tip number 1. Tip number 1, you guys, is to think of future you. How can you set yourself up for success the night before, right? So for me personally, what I do is I prep my coffee when I'm doing the dishes at nighttime. I'm cleaning up the kitchen. I make sure that my coffee pot is turned on and ready to go. Why is that life-changing? It's life-changing for me because my coffee is ready for me in the morning when I wake up. I wake up early to get work done, to get in my workout, to get in my meditation, whatever I'm trying to achieve the next morning. I don't want to be making the coffee. That takes time. If I can prep my coffee ahead of time, it is sitting there ready and waiting for me. And honestly, I used to have the Keurig where I'd have to come out, I'd have to turn on the coffee maker, make the cup of coffee. Like, I was just standing around wasting all this time. And then I bought a beautiful coffee maker that's easy to program. You just click a button and it's coffee is just nice and warm and refreshed and waiting for me, and I love my cup of coffee. It makes my morning just so much better. I also add collagen peptides and collagen creamer to my coffee, which is so good for my body. It just helps sustain me more in the morning. Collagen is so good for gut health. It's so good for your hair, your nails. Collagen is just good for you overall, so getting that in first thing in the morning is very helpful. Which leads us into tip number 2, but we actually need to go out to the kitchen to do tip number 2. So let's go. All right, so we're in the kitchen for tip number 2. Now, tip number 2 is put the things that you want to see, to do, to take in your line eye. Now, I feel like we've heard this tip before, but this one is ringing true for me a lot right now, okay? So I have a cabinet where I put all of my supplements, right? And I'm like, okay, it's right here, but it's closed. And I don't think about walking in, opening the cabinet door, and taking my supplements. I just got out of the routine of taking my supplements. So I started small. I was like, okay, in the morning, I have to take my probiotic before I eat anything. So I took my seed probiotic, which we'll talk about in just a second, and I put it right next to my coffee maker, because every single morning I get up, I get dressed, I come out here, I get my cup of coffee. So if my probiotic that I have to take before I eat food is sitting there right next to my coffee maker, I'm like, oh, it's right here, it's right in front of me. I'm gonna take it, right? So I did this guy for a month. Now, if you guys haven't heard of Seed, I feel like it's everywhere right now, but I was actually turned on to Seed probiotics. It's actually called a symbiotic because it's a pre and probiotic, but this was a recommendation by my holistic doctor because we're working with gut issues, and just probiotics are so good for your gut anyway. You need all that for your microbiome in your intestines. But the cool thing about Seed is the fact that it is scientifically created. So the capsule is actually created to withstand the acids in your stomach so that it can get to where it needs to go and it breaks down at the right time. Most probiotics or prebiotics, they get to your stomach and then the capsules open, and not even half of those probiotics actually make it down into your intestines because the capsule breaks down too soon. This one is backed by science, and they do lots of testing to make sure that the capsule is going to withstand through your digestion and get to where it needs to go. This guy has been game changer for me in my gut health, in just my overall health. It helps with bloating, it helps with digestion. I have linked all of the supplements that I'm going to talk about down below, but if there's stuff like this, I want you guys to read about it because I feel like there's so much information on the Seed website. Go check it out. I've been taking this stuff for over a year. My holistic doctor recommended it to me, and it's been fantastic in my life. So game changer for me has definitely been this Seed probiotic. I love it. All right, so let's just run through supplements really fast since we've already talked about Seed. Okay, so 2 other supplements that I take in the morning on an empty stomach are my P5P. Okay, so you guys, this is an active form of vitamin B6. It helps with serotonin levels. I do struggle with anxiety and pain, and so I feel like I used to take 5-HTP, which helps with serotonin, which when your serotonin is boosted, your inflammation goes down because you're in a happier state, if that makes sense. This helps with inflammation and for my anxiety. Love this stuff, and you gotta take this one on an empty stomach, so I also have that with my probiotic. I also take theanine in the morning. Now, theanine is a unique amino acid found exclusively in green tea. The herbal benefits help with brain metabolism. Theanine also induces relaxation without making you tired, if that makes sense. With an autoimmune disease, we definitely want to boost our immune system, so that's really great, and it reduces blood pressure. So lots of really great things for theanine. Highly recommend. I take my multivitamin, and I do one in the morning, one at night, because I have a really sensitive gut, so it's easier for me to break it up throughout the day. This one is by Designs for Health. I love it. It digests really well. It's a veggie capsule, which I have to take a veggie capsule, otherwise my stomach is really sensitive with certain binders, and so all of the supplements I take do have a veggie capsule, so they are more gentle on the digestive system because I have a really sensitive stomach. So there you go. You guys, this is a big one. The curcuma veil. Curcumin is the active ingredient in turmeric, which turmeric is known to be an anti-inflammatory. Now the curcuma veil is bioavailable curcumin. Bioavailability just means that it is able to absorb into your body the way that it is, which that's what you want. You want something that's easy to digest and be able to go into your body. That way you get the most benefits out of that supplement, if that makes sense, okay? And not to mention, curcumin is specifically known for anti-inflammatory properties. It is known for helping people with rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis. But for me personally, I have psoriatic arthritis, and I have a lot of those same symptoms. They're completely different diseases. However, I feel like they're just starting to dive into psoriatic arthritis. I feel like rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis have been around for a lot longer. So this really, like, if you can only do one and you're suffering with lots of inflammation and you're in a lot of pain, this stuff is incredible. When I'm in high levels of pain, my doctor will have me take 2 capsules 2 to 3 times a day. Currently, I'm taking 1 capsule twice a day just because I'm taking so many other supplements and I really struggle with taking supplements. But this stuff is really, really good. I highly recommend as a great anti-inflammatory. Love. I take boswellia extract, which helps with inflammatory balance. It says it may protect cartilage and joint health. It also supports gut health, intestinal mobility, and it provides relief from GI upset, which is great because when you have SIBO gut issues, I need her in my life, but also we're working on all of the anti-inflammatory things. We're hitting it from all angles, if that makes sense. So there you go, there's that guy. I also take calcium and magnesium, which I take calcium and magnesium because I'm deficient in calcium and magnesium, so I take 1 twice a day of both of these. I will have little links to all of these so you guys can read up a little bit more about them, but those are the supplements I take. Why is taking supplements so important for me and a game changer in my life, okay? I mean, just in general, I feel like if you are lacking in a supplement or you're lacking in your multivitamin, your body's just not running at its best, if that makes sense. But as somebody who has an autoimmune disease, if you have an autoimmune disease, your body is constantly attacking itself. So we might be taking medication, like I take Humira to help my immune system to stop attacking itself, but it's not enough for me. Like that doesn't just cure it. I cannot take my Humira and be like, I can live the life that I want. No, I need to focus on making my body run the very best that it can. So taking my supplements, making sure that I have them set out and that I take them regularly. My body is finally recovering from workouts and I'm not limping at the end of the day. And the biggest change that I've made, you guys, is reincorporating my supplements. A little over a month ago, I put on my daily checklist, which we'll talk about next. I put on my daily checklist, take your vitamins. And I started small. I started taking my probiotic first. And then I included my daily vitamin, magnesium, and calcium, right? And then I went into my cupboard and I was like, okay, I've got 5-HTP and theanine and boswellia. I forget what these do. What do they do? And I Googled them. And I'm like, oh yeah, these are all anti-inflammatory and they help with anxiety. I need all of these back in my life. So I've incorporated them all. I now have this little jar or this little container that I just stack all these little guys in. And it sits right underneath my coffee maker, right down here. And I have to go in there to get my collagen peptides and my coffee creamer. So every time I open it, I see them and I go, oh yeah, I need to take that. And I've just created the healthy habit. You can absolutely get a day of the week pill organizer. For me personally, I enjoy going into each one, knowing exactly what I'm taking all the time. And it's just easier for me to do that. So set it up the way it's easier for you. Some people like to just put their pills all like morning, noon, and night. Great, do that. Whatever is best for you and that you're gonna stay consistent with, because that's the key, especially with supplements. Consistency is key. You can't take a supplement once and then feel better. Like, it's taken a month and a half and I'm finally like, I just hit day 7 or 8 with working out, doing Sydney Cummings workouts, and my body's recovering. I'm a little bit sore in the normal way. Like, my muscles are sore because I'm actually lifting weights again. Hallelujah, it's amazing. So stay tuned because we'll do a 30 days with Sydney check-in. All right, so now that supplements are over, another thing that you can do, I'd like for the line of sight, for people who are not trying to take supplements all day, every day, like this girl is right here. In relation to foods, okay? So if you put all the food that you wanna see, which reminds me, I do take my omega fish oils, which is really good for gut health. It's good for your brain. It's good for your joints. Fish oil is so good. This is the omega-3. That is the one that you want. This is the Nordic Naturals lemon taste. Love it. It's super easy to take, and I prefer a liquid form. I'm already taking enough supplements in a pill form. So I keep this at the front of my refrigerator so that I remember to take it. If it gets stuffed in the back, I forget about it, okay? So if you are trying to eat more healthy, put the healthy foods at the front and put the less healthy foods at the back. Better yet, don't buy them. But if you have to buy them for other people in your household, stick the unhealthier foods in the back so it's harder to get to them, you don't see them. You're gonna grab the things that you see in the front, whether it's your pantry, whether it's your refrigerator. You wanna bring the things that you want to use, want to eat to the front, or the front like right in front of your eyes. Same thing with kids. If I want Liv to play more or to do more coloring, I'll leave her color book out. I'll leave her crayons out. She sees it, she wants to play with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can entertain herself with that just because she sees it. If I put it away, she has to go looking for it and then she may not do it. She'll do something else. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Okay, moving on to tip number 3, because that one took forever and I'm sorry. Tips 2 and 3 are kind of combined, but also just like prepping the coffee ahead of time and putting your supplements ahead of time. Future editing Charlene here. And I was in the kitchen trying to get out all of these really amazing tips for you guys, and I'm realizing I did not explain habit stacking whatsoever and how I used it in this, for instance, and why we are in the kitchen. So the whole idea of habit stacking is that you take a habit that you already do every single day. So for me personally, I make my coffee at night while I'm doing the dishes and cleaning up the kitchen every single night. That's a habit that I'm always doing, if that makes sense. Like, I do that every single night. Now, the next habit that I'm tacking on to the end of that habit is setting out my supplement that I want to take the next day so that it's in my visual line of sight. That's why tips 2 and 3 kind of go together, okay? So when I wanted to start taking my supplements again, I had to make sure that while I was doing the coffee, I was putting my supplement right there. That way the next morning I would walk in, I would see the supplement, I would take it before I took my coffee. Does that make sense? So if you're trying to build a new habit or you're trying to start a new habit, what do you want to tack that onto? Say I want want to journal in the morning, okay? My habit is that I drink coffee every single morning. Now I want to journal in the morning or meditate in the morning or get my workout in the morning. I'm already drinking my coffee. I've written it down on my to-do list, and then I've got my coffee. Oh, I wanted to work out while I'm drinking my coffee, which I do. I do drink my coffee while I work out in the mornings. But also I want to meditate. So I'm gonna go sit in my chair and meditate for 5 minutes, or I'm going to be sipping on my coffee, really enjoying this moment, and then I'm gonna journal or write my to-do list or whatever it is. Tack the new habit on to the end of something that you're already doing. That way it just becomes a new healthy habit. Does that make sense? Okay, that is it for future Charlene. Let's get back to this video. Set yourself up for success and own your day, because it is so much better when you do. But let's go sit down for tip number 4. All right, so this next tip, you guys, kind of goes along with the same tips as before. Habit stacking, looking after future you. For me personally, making a list of personal and professional goals is really important for me so that I can check off my list. I love to be able to check that box. Not to mention, for me personally, I can get really overwhelmed with all these big goals, like lose weight, start a website, start a business. Like, I have all of these big ideas, and then I'm like, okay, but how? You know what I mean? Like, I get stuck in that. So if I break it down into very small, little teeny tiny digestible pieces, things that I can work on every single day, once a week, I can tick off my list, and I'm moving slowly closer and closer to my goal. For instance, I am trying to tone up and, just move my body more, and I want to feel more confident in my body before I go to Maui in June. I am now doing Sydney Cummings workouts because my body's allowing me to. But before that, I was like, okay, how do I figure out how to get to the place that I want to be without working out really hard and pushing myself back into a flare? So for me, I put on my weekly list, I need to get in 3 2-mile walks a week. It just gets my body moving a little bit farther. I hit my steps, if that makes sense. But for me personally, it's so good for me to be outside in the sunshine, take the dogs for a walk. Like, it's a whole experience for me, and I'm scheduling that into my week, right? So I know that I need to hit 3 2-mile walks a week. That is helping me get to my fitness goal, right? If I wanted to start my website, okay, break it down. Today I'm going to create graphics, or this week I'm going to work on an email list. I am going to work on blah, 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 right? Break it down into small, achievable goals that you can check off your list. Okay, so for me, seriously, one of the most life-changing things is just breaking the big goal down so that it's achievable, so that it's not overwhelming. That way you're like, okay, cool, this one thing that's gonna make me move closer to my goal, great, that takes me 10 minutes, or it's gonna take me an hour. Where can I fit that hour or half hour or 10 minutes into my week? That way I can work and get closer to my goal. Are you going to get to your goal right away? No, but if you make your goal so big that you never start, you're never going to get to your goal. So you might as well take teeny tiny baby steps, and you'll get there a lot faster by taking those little steps. Okay? And this next one, it's going to sound a little woo-woo to some, or just like, I know for me, as somebody who struggles with chronic pain, I can get so focused on the negative, or I used to focus so much on the negative. Being in pain all day, every day is draining. Your body is tired, your muscles hurt, your bones ache, you are just consumed. And so for me personally, that put me in a very negative mindset, and it was really hard for me to get out of that. What saved my life, literally, and I mean that with my whole heart, was finding gratitude. Looking for the good in every single day, even on really hard days. In 2019, you guys, I had my daughter. I was struggling postpartum. I was in the worst psoriatic arthritis flare of my life. I could barely walk. And my husband would come home, and it was like, who had the harder day? You know what I mean? It was like, oh my God, this is my day. And it was like, blah, 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 all the bad things, all the really hard things. And then I was like, I cannot go on like this. Like, I need a change. And I looked up gratitude, and it was like, okay, make a list of 5 things that you can be grateful for within the last 24 hours. So every single night I would sit down and write. Didn't matter if I cried all day, if it had been a really hard day, I would write down 5 things that I was so grateful for, that went right in my day, because honestly, all day isn't bad. You may have a bad day, but there is something good in every single day. And if you look for that good instead of looking only for the negative, it is just a game changer, especially when you struggle with chronic pain and chronic illness. So I would write things like sitting in silence with a cup of coffee. I cannot tell you how many times that just like fills my soul up. So I know I like having quiet time, taking a few sips of coffee. Sometimes it was a supportive hug from my husband, baby snuggles, like feeling appreciated, being able to get outside, getting some sunshine on my face, just 5 things that happened every single day. And then it started to grow, okay? So just focusing on gratitude really saved my life, and it turned my mindset around. It made me a more positive person, made me happier again. I mean, I used to be the girl who ran around with like sunshine and rainbows just like flying everywhere. Despite all the negative things, like I could find the sunshine on any dreary day. When I got sick, I lost that. I felt like I lost my smile, and finding gratitude brought my smile back, and it brought the sunshine and rainbows back, if that makes sense. So if you're struggling or you don't already have a gratitude practice in your daily life, I have a wonderful freebie. It will either be listed down below, or if it hasn't come out yet, because I'm not sure when this video is going live, go follow me on Instagram. I'm CharleneTown_. I will be announcing it over there. You'll be able to link to it from there. I'll have it in my link in bio for a beautiful Find Gratitude in 7 Days workbook. You guys, I love it. It's what I do every single day, and I hope that you guys love it too. If you guys go do it, go tag me on Instagram, share it with a friend. I would love to just spread some joy and sunshine in all of your lives. So go check that out. Okay, and this is a bonus. So this is actually number 6, but I started living my life intentionally. Now that sounds very basic, if that makes sense, but also for me personally, what living intentionally means, I'm drinking water every single day, but now I have a beautiful glass cup that I'll do cucumber water or lemon water, and really be intentional about the water that I'm taking into my body. I take a second to appreciate and plate my food, because food is fuel. It is so good for your body, but not just throwing it together and standing up while eating, like taking a minute, enjoying my food, really being present with my food, taking time to meditate and just be present with my breath and my body, doing yoga because it connects my breath and my soul. Like it just connects me all together. And for me personally, like sometimes just sitting doing a meditation is really hard on my body. Like if you have psoriatic arthritis or you have chronic pain, sitting still can feel miserable. So for me personally, doing some yoga and I'll meditate and just be in that feeling connected with my body is so important, because when you live with chronic pain and chronic illness, I feel like we detach. We detach from the pain, we detach from our body, we almost like remove ourselves, and we're looking at ourselves from outside because living in it is too hard. And so you're like, I can't deal with that right now, so I'm gonna push that aside and just keep going, put my head down, keep going, keep going. So for me, doing yoga and meditating, it really brings me back into my body, and it makes me appreciate my body, and that is really important. Self-love and finding appreciation for the bodies that we have. It's the only one we get. You know what I mean? Like we don't get another one. I choose to love this body even when it's in pain, and acknowledging that it's okay just the way it is. You know, that I don't have to change it or force it to be something that it's not. Okay? Make your spaces, I'm not saying make your spaces look so pretty and aesthetic. Make them feel good for you. For me personally, being able to see my kitchen clean makes me happy. It makes me want to cook. It makes me want to share recipes on Instagram. Having little flowers around the house makes my heart so happy. It's why I have my garden the way I do, so that I can have cut flowers in my house all the time. Just those little things make your life so much better, and they seem so insignificant, but let me tell you, when I have flowers on my table or I have flowers on my kitchen counter, my life is just so much better. And it's because it's just those little things that make your heart happy. Does that make sense? I hope that's making sense. Okay, you guys, so those are my 6 life-changing habits for this girl with chronic pain and chronic illness. Which one resonates with you the most? I want to know. Let me know in the comments down below which one you're going to either implement in your life or something that you took away from this video. I want to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I so appreciate each and every one of you. Before you leave, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that little thumbs up button. It just lets the algorithm know that this is a good video, so it pushes it out to other people, and we need it. As people with chronic illness, you guys, we need all love and support that we can. And if this kind of information really resonates with you, I would really appreciate it if you would hang around, subscribe. I would love to have you join the fam. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, so come join the fam. I would love to have you here. And that's it for today's video. I so appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.